What's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest episode of the Rich and Turbo Heavy Half Hour. My name is Rich. No more Band-Aid on my nose. Happy times. You can find me at X at FuzzDoomRip. Also on all the other socials at Rich.Paiva as a doing reviews for Music Media Metal and as a Doom Charts contributor. Turbo is with me as usual. Turbo, how you doing?
Yeah, me.
Yeah, besides wanting to destroy your headset and throw it into the black void to never see again. But instead of doing that, we're going to talk to Adam from Black Sunrise. Adam, how are you doing?
Hey Rich, hey Turbo. I'm doing well, man. How are you guys?
Excellent, excellent. We're very excited to have you on the show to talk about the new record called Drowning. Comes out August 22nd, which will be right around probably when we're dropping the show. I've had my eye on you guys for a while since you dropped that EP back in 2023. So very excited to hear the new record. Spent a lot of time with it today. Some of the songs were familiar, given that I knew a little bit from that EP and some of the singles. But tell us about it. Tell us about the new record and what it's all about and anything you'd like to talk about it.
Sure. So the album's called Drowning. It's a self-released effort. It's coming out this Friday. It's 11 songs, 45 minutes. It's basically the first, to put it, it's basically the first 11 things we came up with. You know, it's our first chronological volume, if you will. So it was a lot of fun writing all this stuff, and we're really excited to see it finally come out.
Yeah, so you guys have been at it with a few of these songs for a couple of years now, right? Because these songs are redone from the Big Show EP, correct? They're re-recorded, is that correct?
Right. We chose to re-record the 4 songs off the EP, partially as a way to link ourselves to the beginning. This is the first album. We feel like those songs deserve to be on there, but also like to give them a fair shot because the EP sounds good, but it was us in a garage basically. It is 100% self-done. So this time we went into the studio and we said, let's give this a proper rendition. So that's what made that decision.
Yeah, I mean,
Certainly
those
wasn't
are
for
some
lack
great
of
songs.
We have plenty of those.
Yeah, no, I'm actually was excited to hear some of the songs kind of in. I mean, again, it wasn't a demo that you put out; it was an EP. But this is like proper studio kind of, equipment and hearing these songs like as probably you guys kind of envisioned from when you wrote them, like as a finished product, right?
Yeah, the EP came out with a sense of urgency because it was what got the ball rolling for us. We didn't have any shows. We didn't have any social media, really. We had friends who knew who we were, but we wanted to get shows. And to get shows, people have to say, well, are you on the internet? Here you go. So that was done over the summer of 2023 and the fall of 2023. Like I said, the first 4 songs we came up with, basically, is what made that EP. And it was all self-produced. I have some recording experience, so I got that was my first time at the helm, all my own, so I'm pretty proud of that. But really, for that one, like Perfect was the enemy of done and out. So it was, does it sound good enough? Can people understand what we're trying to say? Good. Yeah, it's as far as we went with it. We didn't really get to compress and EQ and tweak like we hear it in our heads. So to give those songs another chance with proper producing it was a no-brainer for us, I think.
Excellent. Yeah, I was very happy to hear those again because those are some great songs. Turbo and I were discussing it a little bit today, and we're both having an issue wanting to call your band Black Sunshine because we're both big White Zombie fans.
There's I work with a guy who was in a tribute band called Black Sunshine. And while I think it's a great song, I cringe every time someone does it. I don't know. It's inevitable. I think. You know, it comes with the territory, but it's way better than some of the other names we had picked out. I'll just say that.
Well, and we also have to talk about the fact that there's a band from France who we might want to have a bar fight with to make sure that you are the true owners of this name. That's a whole other story. Turbo, what do you have for Adam as you were, as we both kind of dove into this record today?
My fault is that I just have trouble reading things, so everything changes. As far as you're in this band, you're Adam. You're the bass player.
Yes, sir.
All right, and your brother plays guitar, or your relative, somebody.
we
Have I
look
mixed
like
up the bands?
brothers. My mother confuses us for which one's her son, but we're not related.
Oh,
But Tommy, Tommy the singer, and Billy the drummer are cousins. So there is a little bit of family in the works.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, I didn't share with Turbo the actual promo material, so that was actually good that you picked up that there are relatives in the band. So I could have shared that with you, but I always like to have Turbo go in, guessing just about everything, right, Turbo?
He likes to embarrass me.
Never. There's a few songs in here that some of the new ones that I think are absolutely killer. I think my favorite right now is "Hey Now," and who pulled out the harmonica and went off in that song? Is that Lucas, who is featured on this song, or is that one of the guys in the band?
Yes, that's Lucas Thoreau from the band Wolf Dozer, some friends of ours. He gets up there and really throws down on that harmonica. So we were like, we were recording when we met those guys, and I said, wouldn't it be cool if we got this guy to come in and do it? And much like this whole fairy tale thing, I asked the question, and then it just magically happens. So we were able to get him into the studio, and he laid it down for us. Really cool guy, very caring, very giving with his time. He dealt with us saying, can you do it a little bit different here, a little bit different there, for the better part of the day, and asked for nothing in return. He was a good gentleman. Wolf Dozer is the band he's in. They're out of Kankakee, Illinois. Fun guys.
Excellent. I'm taking note of Wolf Dozer as we speak, because that definitely jumped out as something a little bit different from the EP and the two singles. That were the three singles that dropped.
The way that song kicks in, it kind of has like that shit kicker groove in the beginning. We were thinking of maybe putting an organ or something there, or we were like, this song's missing something. And when we heard that guy play harmonica, Lucas, it was just like, oh, that's what it needs. Of course. So it just felt complete after that.
Love it. Yeah, that's probably my favorite, and probably because I've heard some of the other ones before, and they've kind of sunk in, and this is one of the newer ones that is really, really jumping out at me. Turbo, was there a track that jumped out at you on this one, on the record?
No, I was going to say "Hey Now," but
I stole it from you, of course. Perfect.
Since I've switched to my phone, I can't really look at my notes or anything without messing this up, I guess. So I can't remember off the top of my head. I enjoyed everything I've heard today. I've heard it 2 or 3 times. So it sounds really good. You said that as far as you produced the EP, you didn't produce this album.
No, this album was done in a real studio with real production. We went to a place here in our hometown called Bang Studios, and the proprietor there, John He-Man, engineered and produced for us. So a lot of the sheen you hear is him. I don't possess that kind of talent. He made us sound really good. We're really happy with the final product. He was really able to take what we heard in our head and kind of give it life. So yeah, and we always wanted to have
really
a big studio album. We could do EPs from here on out, and I'll be perfectly happy. We just wanted to do one.
No, yeah, it came out great.
Yeah.
And Turbo,
Yeah.
I think one of the songs you called out to me was "Bar Fight" when we were chatting a little bit previously. You said the first single, and then lots of fire emojis after that one. So I'm trying to help you with your notes since you don't have them on your phone.
That starts off great with the Chris Farley um, quote from was it Dirty Work? What's the movie?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
We
Yeah,
can't.
that's a classic song. It should be either a summer single or uh, since summer's about over, I guess it'd be a good autumn single
Yeah.
There you go.
to get out
America's
there.
special.
Is that like I can see that being kind of your go-to song of the band? Is there one that like when people go see you play that they demand that they hear it? I feel like Bar Fight might be one of those songs, but is there amongst your friends is there one that they want to hear every time they go see Black Sunrise play?
Yeah. Yeah. Usually it's Big Show. Yeah, it's usually the last song we play for the night. Um, I think we've tried to get off stage without playing it twice in recent memory, and they were told, "No, you're not allowed to leave. Go back, go, do it. You got to do the song. Go do the
Yeah.
thing for us." So yeah, Big Show is the big crowd favorite. Um, Bar Fight's getting there too, though. You know, guys, I hope I didn't miss it. I said, "No, we haven't played it yet. Calm down. It's okay." So.
As a former wrestling fan, I was wondering if Big Show was going to be about the wrestler, but I'm actually very glad it wasn't about the wrestler. So that works out better. I love how you call yourself, and I'm just reading a quote, heavy music for hard times. I feel like you guys are very much like a kind of like an everyman kind of like current events, but not picking a side type of band, like just calling out shit that's going on that needs to be listened to. And I feel like Panic Attack is the perfect example of that. Am I off base there, or is that kind of the way that you guys approach maybe your songwriting?
No, I definitely think that's a vein. It's a theme for us. A lot of that comes from Tommy. Tommy's a very worldview kind of person. We write about what we know. Our pain, our sorrow, as well as our joy, and those are the sorrows that we see. And let's face it, world's kind of on fire right now. These are hard times, and this band, at least for us, the four of us, most importantly, I think it's a very cathartic thing to be able to get together and make this music and just feel this feeling. So yeah, heavy music for hard times kind of comes from that.
Yeah, I love that, and we need that. And when I'm listening to the record, I hear a few different influences, and I want you to tell me if I'm crazy or not. And Turbo, you might too. Is there a southern rock kind of influence that you guys have that you enjoy that side of it? Because I hear a little boogie going on in some of those songs. Are there bands that you call out from like that genre that you would say would be influences?
The best way I've heard it put was we are ZZ Top meets Black Sabbath.
Okay.
And I can't disagree. I'm a huge ZZ Top fan, huge Southern rock fan. ZZ Top, Leonard Skinner, a lot like COC, like the Southern sludge metal. We're heavily influenced. I'd be lying if we weren't influenced by like Down, COC, and Crowbar, stuff like that as well. But they're also influenced from a little bit of boogie,
Yeah.
Tommy is a big fan of the Black Crowes. I think that's where he
Okay,
gets some
cool.
of his inflection from. And Chris Robinson, great frontman, great singer. I mean, I got no complaints about any of that.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I don't think about that a whole lot because it's just kind of what comes out sometimes.
I think we've
I
done
picked
8.
up on more of a recent uh, musicians, but I figured you would go more older than that. But I thought maybe Dusty from Mississippi Bones. I don't know if you're familiar with Mississippi Bones or not, but
Hmm.
I felt like I was hearing a lot of sound, like a guitar sound from him
Really?
coming
Okay.
through.
Yeah. and that's a compliment.
Yeah. I think we've had 80
Yeah.
shows, and for some reason, this is the first time we've mentioned the Black Crowes, which is weird because I feel like you would have a lot of bands who would leverage at least some of what they were doing. Obviously, what they were doing was a little bit, like the Stones of the early '90s type deal, but they kind of branched out and did a little bit more than that. So I'm glad someone mentions the Black Crowes in that kind of capacity, and please tell Tommy, thank you for leveraging his experience, his love of that band. Who are your favorite bands, Adam? Like, what are your go-to when you want to put something on that's your favorite stuff? Maybe some early stuff, and maybe a couple of things that from more recent.
I mean, there's always the aforementioned ZZ Top, Black Sabbath. I revisit a lot of the stuff I grew up with often, so I listen to a lot of '90s music. Black Crowes, White Zombie. What else? I love the what's that band called? The Cardigans.
Oh wow,
They
okay.
have that band. They have that song called "Love Fool."
Yeah.
I went on the other day and just listened to like that whole album, and it was amazing. Kind of a side story, but I don't know. I guess long story short, I listen to everything. There isn't much out there that I don't like. Um, in terms of my influences when playing, it's Geezer Butler, obviously. That man pretty much wrote my riff catalog. Um, but I also like who else? Peter Steele was a big influence on me growing up. Which isn't quite stoner rock. It's kind of out of left field for this genre. But I mean, the guy played it in a different way and was authentic about it. And I kind of try to remember that when I do what I do.
Typo Negative is a top 5 band of all time for me. So I'm a huge Typo guy. So I love when bands would mention Typo as an influence, especially because I think people, when they first came out, kind of thought them more of like I don't know, I don't want to say a joke, but not as like serious of a band as they were. But they were talented. They wrote amazing songs. They were different. They were unique. It's also funny that you mentioned the Cardigans. Like I think everyone who is of a certain age, growing up in the '90s, has that album in the '90s that like doesn't really fit what they listen to. Mine is, and I get a lot of shit about this. Mine's the Crash Test Dummies album. I fucking love that record. People think I'm
Yes.
crazy, but I love that record. The single is the worst song on that album, but nobody wants to
It
hear it.
truly is, and it's a shame that they were a one-hit wonder because if you listen to anything else, it's a great album.
Yeah.
Yeah. Funny
Yeah,
how
so-
it works like that sometimes.
Yeah, I'm going to give terrible homework to go spend some time with the Crash Test Dummies record. No?
There you
I
go.
don't think that's going to go over all that well. So, with Drowning, I think I bugged you about this when we were chatting. Right now, we have a digital pre-order that's up for the 22nd when it drops. Are we doing physical media with this one?
Definitely. First, we have to kind of recover from the recording. So we're going to spend the rest of 2025 and maybe the first part of 2026 just trying to play as much as we can. I'm sitting on a ton of T-shirts right now, which are on our Bandcamp. But yeah, as soon as I can scrounge up some funds to do a physical thing, I definitely will. We definitely want to have a vinyl release, and I really want to do cassettes, honestly, because I've got an old Lincoln in my driveway that still has a tape player.
Hey,
So I wanna
over
be
my
able to jam
shoulder is
my
my
own stuff on tape. I
my
think
tape
that'd be the
collection.
coolest thing.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that's my.
Hell
I
yeah.
have it goes 4 levels back, so I still have and they're all new ones too. All my other tapes were gone. Have you? There's been a few bands. I'm thinking of like Moon Decays who put out a record on their own, and then I think Blues Funeral picked them up to do the vinyl. Have you thought about that, or you want to keep this all kind of DIY?
Honestly, I'm open to the idea. I wouldn't say no if someone approached, but I have a backup plan because until someone else offers, I'm on the hook for it. So that's kind of where my mind is. I'm not hoping we get picked up. I'm not expecting to get picked up. Nobody knows who we are. Nobody has to like this. So if it's going to fly, it's going to be because we were pushing it, So that's kind of where my mindset's at. That being said, my contact info is out there. If you want to publish it for us, reach out.
Yeah, I'm happy to push to get some of this stuff, get it out there.
Yeah.
I think that
Here on our show, people have to like it because we like it, and if they don't like it, we will come to their house.
yeah, exactly. We'll let them know how we really feel about them. And just shout out to Blues Funeral. I screwed up. It's Moon Destroys. I know who they are. I have their vinyl. I called them Moon Decay. I was thinking of Carbon Decay. I apologize, guys.
Hey, we screw shit up all the time.
I know we do. We absolutely do.
It's all these brain cells we're missing out on.
They don't grow back as like people say they do. So you said you want to play as many shows as possible. What do you have going on? What does the schedule look like from a shows? And I don't want to use the word touring because a lot of the bands we talk to stay relatively regionally. But what are you guys thinking? What are you guys up to?
We do want to travel in, we don't want to go travel in February. Like, I'm not going to anywhere in February. Forget it. I'm staying home. But, last bit of 2025 and then, early spring 2026, we definitely want to get out and maybe not tour is a strong word. I don't know if we can do that yet, but I would like to do, some weekend runs, some Friday, Saturday, Sunday stuff on our way out and maybe drive home on Monday, not going more than 1,000 miles from home or something. As for shows we have on the books right now, I have one big show. It's kind of an announcement. I don't think anybody knows about it yet. October 18th, we're playing with the aforementioned Wolf Dozer and, drumroll, Bonehawk at J.J. Kelly's in Lansing, Illinois. So that's going to be fun. We've known those guys for a little while, and they agreed to do the show with us. They were like, we're fans. They're fans. We're mutual fans of each other, I guess. Very cool. They agreed to come down and do the show with us. That's October 18th. At J.J. Kelly's in Lansing, Illinois. It's kind of our home bar, so it should be a good rowdy time. Should pack the place pretty well.
Very cool. That Bonehawk is a great band. That's a great lineup. I'm looking for Wolf Dozer on Bandcamp. I don't see anything.
You won't find them.
So please have them reach out to us. I'd love to hear what these guys are doing.
They're actually in studio right now. So they're putting together their, they're in the place we were in 2023 where they got something but they have no proof of it yet. So they have to get in there and put something together. They're working on that. Probably end of this year, maybe beginning of next year. When it comes out, I'll be pushing them through the Black Sunrise channels, so you'll see it, I'm sure.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Speaking of like bands in your kind of stratosphere, there, what are you locally? Sounds like you there's at least a little bit of a scene with Wolf Dozer and Black Sunrise. But are there other bands, or are there anything else we should know about? And this is when I always start typing into Bandcamp to find some new bands that we want to discover via the bands that we already love.
I don't know if you've heard, but there's this thing out there called the Midwest Doom Coalition.
Yeah.
And it's basically a group of bands, people who have contacts, people who have networking skills. We're all in the stoner rock adjacent, doom genre. And we've basically just banded together like gypsies on the highway and just helping each other out from city to city. And the beautiful thing about that is they tapped me for some reason to head up the first city chapter in Chicago. And that was about 6 months ago we started working on that. And since then, the bands that we've come in contact with, bands that I didn't even know existed, numerous and just fantastic. You've got our homies in Shadow of Jupiter, Team Hoss, Grim Reefer. Those guys are fantastic. Big Doomers. Black Road. They're really good.
Black Road, I'm hoping
like a fantasy band.
Yeah, I'm hoping for some new Black Road stuff soon. Yeah, dig their older stuff.
Yeah, but there's also really good, like, genuine doom out here too. There's bands like Pale Horseman. They're a little bit more on the metal side of things. You got bands like Shrineburner, Plaga Carcosa even gets into like some post rock. So it's and all those bands have all kind of come together through that Midwest Doom Coalition thing, and that's how I found out about most of these bands. And it's just basically helping us to push each other, as a collective. We all, when the water level rises, we all go with it. So
very cool.
Yeah.
We need it. We need one of those for down here in Florida where I am, because there's not a lot of like I know of bands. I know of bands that are in like Tampa. I know one here in Orlando, one here in Lakeland. Like I think there needs to be a little bit more of that, and I'm working with a few of the bands that I'm gonna. Every now and then a good show comes through. So there's a show where Truck Fighters and Restless Spirit are playing with two very cool local bands. I say local, but people know them. A band called Florist and a band called Liquid Pennies out of St. Petersburg and Tampa. Just really good stuff. But I'd love to see that, kind of come together from like a central to western Florida standpoint, just because I know that there are really good bands out there, but they probably don't know where to go or who to talk to or who to connect with, because they're all kind of spread out a bit. So maybe I should be motivated to do such a thing. Maybe I'll do that.
I mean, careful what you wish for, because it's it's a labor of love for sure. But yeah, I mean, that's really where it starts. You find one guy who wants to go out and kind of unite everybody around the flag and say, this is our scene. Let's make something out of it. That's how it was handed to me. Here's your flag. Go plant it and make something happen. And that's what we're trying to do. 20 years ago, you wouldn't have this camaraderie, this friendship among bands. We'd all be biting each other's backs, trying to one up each other, or I've seen bands straight up just like sabotage other bands back in the day. Like, it was just the locals. I don't know how it is everywhere, but my slice of life back then, it was very cutthroat, and this is the exact opposite of that. Like, I've never seen so many bands want to help each other out. So it's been a labor of love, but it's been very easy to put together. Like, you say, hey, who wants to be part of this? Come on in, everybody, let's go. And it's very inclusive. It's very cool.
That's great. Yeah, we need more people like you and groups like that to do that kind of uniting, because otherwise it's hard for. I mean, there's so much stuff gets released on Bandcamp every day, and there's so many things that are going on, and it's hard for anybody to know how to get anybody to listen to their stuff. I mean, that's why Turbo and I do the show, not because we have nothing else to do, but more because we just love talking to the bands that we really enjoy, and it's like you said, a labor of love for us too, just because we're very thankful for all the killer music that we get from bands
you
like
guys
yourselves.
got 100 episodes under your belt. That's definitely a labor of love. Congratulations!
It's crazy.
For that.
Thank you. Yeah, we're heading in that direction. Even though Turbo, I'm definitely an overachiever when it comes to booking interviews, as I have him double booked and triple booked over the next 2 weeks, right, Turbo? So, homework. I give him homework to do. What else do you have from Adam? We've kept him for almost 30 minutes already. What else do you have for him?
You said you have shirts. I know I saw one shirt that I liked, the one with the tie-dye name. Um, did you have a new working on a new design for a shirt, or you just
We've got
had it?
we're gonna update with several new designs for merch. We got some some of the classic 70s sci-fi stoner rock out there, and then we got the Spaceman design. I don't think he's going everywhere. I think he's everybody's favorite. So we're not getting rid of anything. I still have a ton of those tie-dye shirts. Turbo, I'll send you one. But no, we got new stuff coming with the album release. We're gonna have new T-shirts. I'm always designing graphics and stuff. Just daydreaming about my band, writing our logo on stuff, and so there's tons of ideas. I just got to get them printed, basically.
Love it. We will
Yeah, we have
absolutely.
that problem.
Yeah, Turbo sent me a hat and a shirt that now I need to actually go press buttons to make them actually appear in the mail at some point. So it's not going to happen by osmosis, I think. So I think I'm actually going to have to take action on that. But yeah, just I love the Spaceman logo too. That's some very cool stuff. And okay, look forward. Everyone go buy a Black Sunrise shirt. You absolutely should. But what you should definitely do is go and pre-order the new record called Drowning. That comes out on August 22nd because it's killer.
It kicks a lot of ass.
It kicks tons of ass. The riffs are there. The vocals are really, really good. I think sometimes with new bands, what I do a lot of reviews and I mostly stay positive. The thing that I struggle with the most, I think, are vocals. And the vocals on this record are excellent. Like, they're just killer. And whatever the magician did who recorded you, whenever he did layers on it or whatever he did, the vocals are just excellent. And to me, that's where bands struggle the most from like their first couple of releases. And your guy has it down, I must say.
Thank you. I'm sure Tommy will see that and smile.
Please let him know.
Yeah, no, Tommy's got some pipes, man. He's really gifted. The first time I talked to him, I didn't know who he was, but like he just got in front of that microphone and it was just like a flamethrower lit up. I was like, oh, I got to get that guy in my band right now, But yeah, vocal, a lot of that stuff, a lot of that studio stuff was John He-Man. Great producer. He's been doing it for a long time. I've worked with him several times in the last, 15, 20 years with other bands, other genres and stuff. We all used to play metal. Now we're old and tired and we play heavy blues instead. So, Tommy's vocals are great. And nothing kills a song like when the vocals come in and it just doesn't fit. I don't. Yeah. I can't count how many times I've turned a song off once the first verse starts, and I'm just like, ugh. Oh no. So to be on the other side of that, that it's not a problem for us. It's a big relief, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, it's and I want to say it's not. I don't think that it was just some studio wizardry. The vocals are great on the EP that you recorded as well. Just to put that out there. But yeah, no, the whole record, to me, it has it all. I can't wait for everybody to hear it. The singles are great, but when you hear a song like Hey Now, you're going to know that these guys are not screwing around. This is not just any.
You got a live show from Reggie's up on the YouTube, don't you?
There's a couple of them. We've played Reggie's, I think, 4 times in the last year. And I think 3 of the sets have made it up onto YouTube. I'm still trying to figure out how to link YouTube channels with them so they appear on our stuff. But if you search Black Sunrise Reggie's, I think you'll find 2 or 3 whole sets, 45-minute shows up there. So,
killer.
Yeah, if you want to get a taste of what the live show is like. Yeah.
Killer, yeah. And it's very cool. I just only realized that Reggie's was doing that. We talked to the band The Judge the other day, and same thing. They had their show that they just played at Reggie's. So that's very cool. Yeah. Another way for you guys to get your stuff out there, right? Free, pretty much, right?
Very much so, yeah. Yeah, no, Reggie's doesn't charge us for that. They ask permission, and we, the bands have to give permission for them to do it, but they pay for it all. They have their production team come in and do sound and video. And if you search through Reggie's catalog on YouTube, there are some great concerts that are just archived. Basically, it's a huge archive of everything cool that happens in that bar.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
but we want people to go listen to the Black Sunrise one.
Right, that one specifically.
But yeah, I'm gonna. You guys are probably hearing the show either Thursday or Friday of this week. The record is either dropping tomorrow or is available right now on Bandcamp, the digital version of it. We will get some physical media soon. So guys, for those of you who are snobs and won't listen to just digital, you know who you are. You know who I'm looking at. Give this one a shot before the physical, knowing that it's coming out. Just anticipating that you will be pre-ordering it. So you can listen to it with our permission. But Adam, thank you so much for joining the show.
Crash
Again,
Turbo, thanks for having me, guys. This has been
yeah,
great.
Drowning, Black Sunrise. Come back on the show for us when the record's going to drop. You do a pre-order. We talk a little bit more about it. Bring Wolf Dozer on the show. Let's do that. Would love to have you back.
Thanks, guys.
Excellent. Thanks, Adam. Have a great night.
Awesome. Right on.